The collection in this tote is over $50,000, and it's been sitting at the back of a closet for 15 years after being inherited until the owner drug it out to submit it to me for examination. Let's get into it. This is a Mint United States stamp collection, and it is fairly complete with most of the key items from 1893 all the way into the 1930s. This includes the full set of Louisiana Purchase, the full set of Jamestown, all of the Pan American issues, as well as the Panama Pacific issues, both the Perf 12 and the Perf 10, the complete 1922 definitive set all the way up to the $5 Liberty. In addition, scattered throughout the albums, you have solo items that carry incredible value, including number 634A right here, as well as 523, the $2 Franklin, and 524, the $5 Franklin. And the coup de grace of this collection is a complete set of the Trans-Mississippi, including the $1 Catalan Storm, one of the most beautiful U.S. stamps ever issued, as well as the Colombian issue from 1893, complete to the $5. An absolutely stunning U.S. set. The best part, there's even more than what I showed you here, and this collection could easily run into the six figures of catalog value. This is without a doubt the finest collection I've had the opportunity to review here on TikTok, and I'm so thrilled that it was submitted to me. But this collection is an excellent opportunity to show you how difficult it is to provide value based off of pictures. That over $50,000 number that I provided to you at the very beginning of the video is the catalog value of what I showed you in an unhinged condition. To show you the disparity that can be caused by just putting a hinge on a stamp, for the same exact collection, if every single stamp in there is hinged, you're actually looking at a value of $17,300, an incredible drop of almost 60%. And there's absolutely no way to know which value you can ascribe to each stamp without putting your hands on it, flipping it over, and getting a really close look at that gum to see whether or not it's disturbed, whether or not it's even on there, whether it's hinged or unhinged. There's a lot of variables that go into it. Let's take this $5 Colombian right here as an example. This is the top value stamp of the Colombian issue, and definitely the most valuable stamp out of any that I showed in this video. If you take a look at the catalog listing, you'll actually see three different numbers assigned to this stamp: 9,750 for a not hinged value, 2,400 for a hinged value, or $1,250 for a no gum example. And the stamp in the album could be any one of those three distinctive values. And it actually gets even more complex than that. If you take a look at this picture of a $5 Colombian that's in the catalog, you can see how wide the margins are all the way around it. Now, this picture in the catalog is an outstanding example of this stamp, but if you go back and now look at the example that is in the album itself, can you see how it is so very, very tight on both the left and the right, as well as the top and the bottom? This to me suggests that this stamp may have actually been reperforated. Reperforation is a common deceptive trick on higher value stamps that either have a straight edge like this one right here, or have already damaged perforations. And because the margins are so very, very tight on this stamp compared to some of the other examples that I've seen, before I bought this, I would definitely want to know whether or not it could be certified as being completely genuine, or whether it is a reperfed example. If it has been reperforated, then as an altered stamp, the assumption is that you drop to somewhere between 5 and 10% of the actual catalog value when you go to sell it. I think that even if it is reperforated, this is an attractive example, and the design clears the perforations on all sides, so I would say this is probably at the upper end of that 5 to 10% if it was going to be sold in a retail environment. And even with this, you can see from the original catalog spread of $97.50 to $12.50, at 10%, you would be somewhere between $125 and $975, which is why it's so important to have an expert look at stamps when you're talking about real value, because there are an incredible number of factors that go into properly valuing a stamp, because these concerns also work the other way and can also vastly increase the value of a stamp, because knowing that this example right here could be anywhere between $125 and $975, or if it's not reperfed, possibly $12.50 to $97.50. If it was an exceptional example of the stamp, it could even sell as high as $16,000, as this copy was right here, because of its exceptional centering and pristine condition. And the moral of the story here is that if you're dealing with really expensive stamps and you're not an advanced collector, you really need to involve a professional. Whether that be another advanced collector or a dealer or an auction house, you really need to find somebody's opinion who you can trust. I did help the seller of this collection hook up with a dealer who is going to assist him in selling this collection, and I definitely hope he gets his full value out of it.